Hey guys, Max Convexity. I got one of my dogs over there, and Jackson's over there. He's over the other direction right now. All right, hey, let's see how we closed up. It didn't look very freaking good. I was just doing a preview of it. My God, what happened? You got to be kidding me, right? I guess let's look at the chart. All right, hopefully you guys can hear me all right. All right. So, I mean, what in the heck? Somebody one of my commenters, and it's one of my regular commenters, said it was one of the Fed people, made some comments. Anyway, wow. That's they did they not know they're killing all the high yield funds, the daily high yield funds when they do that? It probably helps out the longer range high yield funds to have shocks to the volatility to keep the volatility elevated for their monthly options, but these kind of things kill the daily yield funds. On the other hand, though, lots of stuff the Fed does, like when they pass free money out and makes these markets close on the highs day after day, the helicopter money and stuff actually helps out the daily yield fund. So I guess you get the good with the bad. Anyway, this is definitely the bad today. That's a big loss. So I was looking here, $4 million. It's going to cost $331 to buy those options back. The last time these guys, I was griping about the 2.3 2 days ago, saying at the first of the month there's always a big loss. Uh, because of the first of last month we had a $5 million loss. So now here we are the first of this month, we have a 2 and a 4. So that's 6.3 actually. But this is actually 5.6 because it's anyway. But then you go back the month before that, and we had a $4 million loser on the very first day, same size as we had today. And then the month before that was, it was terrible. Anyway, all right, we're always starting off behind. I could not believe this morning's action was so positive. All three of these indexes were so far over the profit boxes. I was thinking 3 for 3 profit, easy peasy week. But anyway, that's what happens. That's what happens. All right. So this one got 26 points in the money. This option was only sold for 8, and it was bought back for 26. So it's, not good. $1.3 million loser instead of a $669,000 winner. 14 cents a share loser, 35 cents a share negative for the month. My goodness. What is going on here? 35 cents a share negative. This is starting to remind me of 2 months ago, January. Of course, January, they started out the first day of the month, 38 cents a share negative on the very first day of the month. That's kind of hard to do. That means you lost 38 cents in one day. Oh my gosh, that was a $1.8 million loser. Well, today's a $1.3 million loser. 14 cents per share. Oh well. All right. Let's look at Jeppy. Jeppy had to buy options back for 72. I know they didn't sell them that much. I think they were 14 or 10, $11. Wonder if Defiance ever got their damn site fixed. That's starting to make me mad. So I guarantee you some of those numbers on the website, I'm going to have to go back and correct them, or I'm going to want to see if they have intraday trades up yet. 4-1. So this is 4-1 for 4-2. So these are a couple days old. I'm looking at the ones that are going to be dated for 4-5. 4-1, yeah. Yeah, these are 4-2. Okay, well, anyway. All right. Well, So I'll just keep using the information they provide here. In any event, that's all I could do. All right. Well, I wonder what the Fed governor or whoever it was, the Fed guy said. I wonder if it did anything to TLT. No, of course not. Why couldn't have it made TLT go crazy? 2% up move or 2% down move. All right. Well, that's fine. Let's check out some of these crypto stocks. Here's Coinbase. So this is what Coney sells options on. And I think I have the profit boxes for this one. I do. It's just slow. Okay. Well, they're in good shape on their short options. They just need some tomorrow would be great if they could just close at 267 or at 285 by the end of the day tomorrow. They have plenty of room for price appreciation. All right. Misty trades Mr. Options. All right. These guys sold a couple of new strikes just this morning. And I guess maybe in the third bar, so 9, 10 o'clock this morning, we were marching right towards them. But then the pretty much the whole market turned around, headed lower. So for now, those are safe. Here's Jackson. Yeah, that chart is just ugly. I mean, when Nvidia sells off like that, it's of course this thing's been up so much. What goes up eventually, this will go the other way, and this boom will turn into a bust. I don't think it's going to start today, but maybe it did. Maybe the bust has started today. It'll start someday. All right. Well, anyway, all of the strikes are in good shape. The options premium are doing their job. They're bringing in premium. Let's see. These guys got a new strike and they sold it within 2 hours, 2.5 hours. Their strike has been violated, but then within a few hours after that, it was fine again. The market, Tesla ran right through the strike. It was a bullish looking day for Tesla. I mean, hopefully, that's Tesla needs to put together, 4 or 5 days like this, and where it pulls back halfway and then goes up, pulls back a little bit, goes up. Needs to get a trend going of these kind of days. But anyway, right now the primary trend on this one evidently is down. Now let's look at the daily. Let's look at the daily right here and see. Try to get a little more perspective, better perspective. I only have this window open and I only have 6 tabs. I know I usually have a lot more than that, and I'll shut them. I should have only had like 2 tabs open. I've been trying to be more conscious cautious and conscious of that, both of them at the same time. I always want to be cautious. It's always good to be cautious just about anything. All right, so I mean, my gosh, I mean, on the daily candles, they just, you know what I say about when a time frame gets outside of the 1.6 Bollinger Band, and then you get a follow through day, or a follow through time period, whatever that might be, and that happened right in here. It's kind of a powerful, trending signal, usually in the direction of the breakout, which in this case was down. And lots of times you'll get a retest, which is exactly what happened. They retested the whole move right here and went back down. But right now it looks like it's trying to make a higher low on the daily. So maybe that's this time frame, and also this time frame's been inside the Bollinger Bands for a while. So it's showing, this time frame is not trending, it's contracting. And then let's go down to the 30-minute time frame. I would just love to see this one turn around. This could be a great stock, and this could easily be at 300 by Christmas, and people will be going, oh my gosh, I told you, or easily without, I mean, we'll see though. We'll see. Let's look at the buffer report. All right. So yeah, the end of the day sell-off hurt all of these. Now what's encouraging is the blue is the high yield funds. The blues did not usually lead on the way down, which is good. They're supposed to have buffer, and they all had buffer, some more than others. SVOL had tons of buffer. But anyway, Nusi had lots of buffer. YMAG, buffer all day. So anyway, those are the standouts in buffer. One or two of them led on the down way. ULTY, but that's not really ULTY's benchmark. I couldn't really find a benchmark for ULTY, so I just use a stock index. But ULTY did have a worse day than the averages, so it's fair to say that. FEPI, that's not really FEPI's benchmark either, but FEPI led the NASDAQ a little bit on the downside, but FEPI leads on the upside all the time. So those are nothing to worry about, just something to look at. I just like to look and see for, try to look for trends to develop. The single day, you really can't tell much. Now, this is a week, and this is pretty interesting to me. Although trying to think, oh yeah, Meta or Fibby. Caveat supply, though. I was looking at this and I was like, there is no way that Meta is up and Fibby's down. Anyway, and I was looking and I looked at the chart, and yes, it doesn't look like that. I have some kind of problem with the data. I've been trying to figure out what it is. I've even been looking at the daily results, checking it against right here. Here's the daily closes on Yahoo. Anyway, it's a data corruption problem. I'll figure it out. But the other ones I think are good. But the trend of these are that a lot of these high flyers from the past month or so pulled back in the past few days, and you can see it. Tesla and Nvidia pulled back harder than the parent. And I checked Tesla's those numbers are right, or I checked a couple of these because they all of them look pretty suspect to me. I did find a problem with Fibby, but setting that aside, it's been kind of a rough week, a little pullback here. All right, now here's the indexes. Now indexes, of course, even when it's rough, it's not as rough because they're indexes. But NASDAQ's down 2.3 and S&P's down 1.8. Okay, well, Triple QI had tons of buffer, only caught half the downside. JEPI led on the downside. JEPQ led on the downside. SPY-T led on the downside. SVOL had buffer. The rest of these were in line. It looks like, you know, what you'd expect. QDTE led on the downside. ULTY led on the downside. I mean, a few of the other ones did too. Nothing really stands out too much. Here's 30-day. The 30-day looks encouraging. We have a lot of great performance and stuff. Some of those short-term ones look like this thing's trying to turn around on us. Some of the momentum's dying off. All right. All right, guys. 518. So that means futures are open. 618 on the East Coast. Let's see what stock index futures are doing. Golly, every time I see that. Oh my gosh, I got to go make my box bigger. All right, well, I got to find an app that does that automatically. It's cool to see where the market trades between sessions. You know, last night it just kind of meandered higher. And we opened in a huge up gap. I cannot believe that didn't hold, but oh well. All right, so that's NASDAQ futures. There's S&P futures. And the futures are bouncing here. I mean, you can, I mean, if we zoom way in, we closed an hour ago. You know, these trade 23 hours a day. We closed at 4 o'clock Central, 5 New York, and then we reopen at 6 New York or 5 Central. But there's a, you know, there's a little bit of daylight there. There's actually a little open to close gap there. Anyway, that's bullish. A lot of people say go in the direction of that. It's bullish until it gets closed. And if it gets closed, probably means it's going the other way. All right, so that's S&P. Here's Russell. Check out Bitcoin. Bitcoin up 2.78%. Well, the sun's getting ready to hit me. I need to wrap this broadcast up. I want to see how Bitcoin was doing with regards to my little magic line I'm drawing. Is it respecting it or not? And not really. It blew right through it both ways. All right, guys. You guys have a good one. I'll be back tonight with the profit boxes for tomorrow. Hopefully, especially if Defiance will ever get their website and or their intraday trades, the spreadsheet entries they give us. Hopefully they'll get that. I'm going to keep checking and keep checking. And whenever they do get that worked out, usually I like to come back on around 8 or 9 Central Time and do an update. So I'll see you guys around then if they get it updated. If not, I'll be back in the morning. I'll just be back in the morning and we'll do the profit boxes in the morning when the market opens. All right, guys, have a good one.